Hi, welcome to my channel. So far, I've done a video telling you about my childhood and why I have a whimsical nature about me. My name is Jackie or Jacqueline, and I've also done some crafting videos on Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day. And I wanted to come on here and show you what I have been doing this week, and I'll bring these down so you can take a closer look. You know, I've only been on YouTube for about a month, and I think I've got only like about 8 subscribers. So please, if you like what you see today, please subscribe and come back. I'm not going to be doing all crafts. I do promise you everything will be in the nature of whimsy and fun. Definitely, it's got to be cute and it's fun in my world. But I'm kind of on a craft roll right now. Just a little bit about me. I teach crafts for the last 9 years in my home. I have a little studio in a bedroom, and I have about 10 crafters that come, and we're called the Squirrel's Nest. And us ladies get together and we do some charity work at Christmas time. We make snowmen for assisted livings. We've made birdhouses for the Humane Society locally for their auction. We raised like $800, almost $900 for that. But generally, we're just a bunch of gals from age like 30 to 84 that craft. Like, I'm just such a believer in let's get back to the basics. Let's get our friends and our neighbors in our home and share meals and share fun and fellowship and laughter. My home is just an open book. And so I decided that I just love to entertain. And so we've been going strong. And every month we choose either I teach or some of the other gals teach. And we get together. We've made wreaths. We have done, we have painted. We have done paper crafts with ephemera. We have done fairy gardens. I'm just trying to think of all the things that we have done. Just a really, really wide variety of different things. We worked with mosaics. So anyway, what I've been doing this week, what I'd like to do is just show you some art that I did. Now, what qualifies me for an artist or crafter? Just a little background. My mama was an artist. I mean, she was a true trained artist. She worked in ceramic and she drew, and she was part of building Once Upon a Fairyland. If you don't know what that is, go back to my first video and you'll see what that's all about and where I grew up. But I just learned to paint and to make art such an important part of my life by looking over my mom's shoulder, to be very honest with you. She was a nighttime person, and after dinner, she had worked all day, 5 days a week. My dad was disabled, and my mom was selling ceramics back in like the 60s and 70s out of her motorhome, and then in the Fairyland gift shop that we had in the castle, and making souvenirs and such. And I learned to stay up late, although it wasn't my natural bent. I'm still a real early morning person, but I just watched over her shoulder and I watched her paint and she taught me. And soon we were making, like in the days of aquariums, we were making like grosses of aquarium pieces, mermaids and pirate ships and things that would go in aquariums. This was actually more, I think, in the early 70s. So I was learning to glaze, I was learning to stain. And so Mama really was a true trained artist. I just learned from looking over her shoulder. And then another story in 2020 and in 2021, I broke my ankle. And so I was sitting down on my fanny for months. And like all of a sudden, I picked up that magical paintbrush and I just started to paint and paint and paint and paint. Like I couldn't stop. I really felt, my parents are gone now, but I felt like Mom was like leading the paintbrush. It was just a real surreal experience in my life. It was really wonderful. So what I've done here, I put up a little display, and what I did this week is I painted paintbrushes. Okay, went to the Dollar Tree. They're $1.50, And I bought some paintbrushes and I just decided to decorate them. And so I want to show you what I came up with. And everything in my life really, really does tell a story. And so when I'm creating, that is what I'm trying to portray, is some story that comes to mind. So this is one of my painted paintbrushes. And what are we going to do with these? They hang. You can just use them for art. I've done, of course, both sides. And I think the important thing I want to share is all that I do comes from crafted material. And I know that's really popular right now. I do it mainly out of need because I can't afford much. And so I just am always thrifting and garage sailing, going to estate sales, bartering, trading, whatever, to get craft supplies. So here's the paintbrush. And then these actually I thrifted, and they had different words on them, wish and happiness and that type of thing. And they are to go around wine bottles is what they are. So it was natural wood and I just painted it. This is some ribbon that I had left over, the little key a friend gave me, and then I just decorated it with gems. And when I was painting this, I was thinking of my mom, to be honest with you. She was so elegant. She was so special. And that one is in her memory. So that was what I was doing with that one. This one is kind of fun. It's in the Halloween spirit. And what I did is I took the brush and I got the paintbrush in there. By the way, if you're going to do this, use fairly stiff brushes. You don't want to use your fine brushes to do this. These are brushes that, you know, you're long done or you have kind of outworn them. Anyway, I just started pushing paint into the brush, down here into this brush. It's very, very stiff right now. A friend drew this for me, the bits and pieces. That's actually a seal for letters. Cut out some artwork and glue the little hat on the top, and just what makes sense to you. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and so I thought, even though it's not Halloween time, that I would do something in that nature of Halloween. So that was the Halloween theme. And then I showed you that one. And then here's a little bit like the serendipity one. Excuse me. So this one, the believe one. This one I particularly really like. I like how I ran down the buttons. When you, in my experience, when you are designing something, it's really good to do it in 1, 3s, or 5s, the odd number. And so, yeah, I used and these are metallic paints that I used. You could just use regular acrylic ones, just the little bottle ones, the folk art ones, whatever that you get at Michael's. But even you can thrift that paint too, right? Sometimes you can find some really good paint. You could do both sides of them. I just do the one. So I just think they're really neat. And I would classify them as, I guess, altered art, right? Is what they are. Here's a smaller brush. And this one, I use little tiles on. I especially like the bristles on this one. And then these were all thrifted. All this is all thrifted. Every single piece of it is thrifted. And see if I can keep them all up here without the display falling down. Another one of my favorite ones right here. Excuse me, just telling a story. Key to your heart. And using the tiles. These two were made at about the same time. Aren't they just cool though? You know, you can go either way. This particular brush didn't have a hanger on it, but you could certainly attach it if you want to have it this way or you want to have it that way. This display behind me is actually for jewelry. Excuse me, and I'm getting over pneumonia, so if I'm coughing a little bit, that's why. Anyway, I just used a jewelry rack here in my art studio, and it works dandy. Oops. You can never have a perfect video, right? We try and try, practice, but it's never perfect. We're still going with it. This is just a cutout that I had, and I like the message on it. Let's do this. Isn't that cool? And like I said, you can do both. Just did polka dots on this one. Very simple, but I loved it. With the little, you can paint right on here too. I've seen a lot of people turn these up and they turn them into people. They actually paint faces on them, and the bristles become a hat. You could find some of these ideas probably on Pinterest. And then I have one more brush to show with you. Stay up there, everybody. And pretty soon we're going to get to the CDs that I painted. This last one, of course, Easter is coming. And so I did kind of a whimsical little Easter bunny. These are actually hair bows for children. Just put some gems on there. That's paper. And then the little bunny actually came from Dollar Tree. So I just painted this in the blues. And yeah, I just think they're really, really cool. But they're really fun to make. Okay, the other thing I did this week is I painted CDs. For about 12 bucks, I went down to the store and got some blank CDs. You could use your used ones if you didn't want them anymore. And I think I'm actually going to do both sides. Right now, I'm only doing one because I think I'm going to try and turn them into a mobile. And I can maybe show that in the next couple of videos. But anyway, just came up with some ideas. I happen to love mushrooms. So isn't that cute? You see that? Just using acrylics. I will say when you do the background, you paint it all one solid color and do a background. The darker colors work really good if you use the black or a dark blue, cobalt blue or something like that, that you usually need to put 2 coats on it. Here's another one with mushrooms. And then I just added some Dollar Tree glitter glue around it to create more like a little frame. So that's a couple of examples of the CDs, and you can, hang them if you want. This one is a peace sign. In April, my craft group, we're doing hippie boho crafts, and so we are going to be painting some CDs. So I'll have to do another video and show you what all the crafters came up with. This one I actually painted about a year ago, and it was around Earth Day. Celebrating Mother Earth with the clouds, the pink and the blue, and just the dot pens. I love dots. I don't know why. You ever have things like that with your art expression that you really don't know why you like them, but you do? Another mushroom. And, the hole in the CD, I just pretended like it was a window. You could cover it up also. I'll show you one that I did that I just covered that hole up. Where is it? Oh, it was on this one. These were blank black stickers at Dollar Tree. And I painted the butterfly on there. And then I just put it on and covered the hole. And then just added some gems on there. So this happens to be my husband's favorite one. And a couple of friends too. I showed my friends and asked them, like, which ones do you like? And they came up with that one. And then this one, kind of a folk art style bird. He's got the hole in the middle. That was really fun to do. A couple of coats on here, just trying to get it right. I'm not proclaiming to be, the world's greatest artist or anything else. I just do my best. But that's what art is. It's an expression of yourself. And nobody has the right to judge you. Just do your best. And as long as you're happy with it, or if you're not happy, what was it? Bob Ross, and his happy mistakes. Well, hey, but I would suggest don't throw away your art. It's something that you might not think, if you have, struggle with perfectionism and that type of thing. Somebody might just think is absolutely wonderful. And then I think this is the last CD to show you. Oh no, I've got one more up here. This one is a little different. You can see that on the kitty cat's faces, I decided instead of painting the faces that I took a Q-tip and I just scratched off the paint so you can see the reflection, and you can see I did that on a couple of spaces here too. So the CD silver light comes through. It gives you kind of a space age. This actually is one of my favorite, and it was really fun to do. And then I have one more here. Isn't this a great holder? I mean, it's a piece of art just in itself, don't you think? And then this one, again, is a little bit more folk art, is what it was. The idea actually came off of Pinterest. There was another one that was kind of similar, and I thought, yeah, put some houses and then do my own thing. Again, I use the center hole here as hopefully a window. These little pathways coming down from the little houses are actually, again, scratched out. So those are my CDs. Can you imagine them like hanging in a mobile? If I do the mobile, though, I will paint the other side. And you could do that solid, or you could do another scene on it the other way. So yeah, so that's my crafts of the week. So I just wanted to show you a little bit about that. I also decorated, I still have my Christmas tree up. Yep, I'm one of those nuts that has their Christmas tree up. This is on my bucket list this year, and I wanted to leave my Christmas tree up all year, and then every month I would decorate it in whatever season it was. So of course I did Christmas, and then January rolled around and it was a New Year's Eve tree, and it happened to be my birthday, and so I did that and decorated it up. And then of course February was Valentine's Day, and then now I have a green tree, and maybe I'll do the video on it. It's really neat. I made all the ornaments for it, and I've got green lights on it. It's out in our coffee area, our coffee nook. And yeah, most people just love it. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thank you for your time. Thanks for being here. And yeah, I hope you come back. Have a great weekend. Bye.